Previously on TVSins.
Superman's a no-show. You got no powers, no offense. This guy might be working for the enemy, we don't know.
2 minutes of opening credits that include Karth. Oh, fun. This guy knows exactly where this story is heading. It won't be long until the final books hit the shelves and we can see where this brilliant story goes. Read and watch all together at the same time. Game of Thrones, Curse of the Black Pearl. Puking before a fight? Puking because of motion sickness? These things are understandable. Puking into an overflowing bucket of stomach bile and apricot chunks because nobody wants to take their ass up top to aim that over the side? That's messed up. This show has a lot of dark in it, but this may be the darkest.
You're coming home?
King's Landing hasn't been home for 20 years.
And this season feels like it's taken about 20 years for Stannis and his crew to get to King's Landing. This is the 9th episode of the season, consisting of 10 episodes, and the entire season has been 37% Stannis on a ship. He's got ships. He's a big deal. I get it. Let's get to some King's Landing killing already. Look at those pristine teeth in a world with no dentists. Lord of the Light? Nah, man, Lord of the Pearly Whites.
The people of King's Landing did not choose the false King Joffrey Baratheon.
Your better point is that they don't like him, not that they didn't choose him. They don't do democracy here. They do dictatorship, or war, or farcical aquatic ceremonies.
Stannis will burn every Lannister he can find.
If you're so worried about burning alive, maybe go ahead and move those candles away from the highly flammable curtains blowing into your bedchamber.
Can't your way out of everything.
I have so far.
Now this is the spin-off HBO has been waiting for. Shay solving all of life's problems in her own unique way.
A single drop in a cup of wine suffices to soothe ragged nerves. 3 drops will bring on a deep and dreamless sleep. 10 drops, however.
Side effects may include dizziness, shortness of breath, and dragon loins. Product may be harmful to women who are expecting demon smoke babies. Please consult a maester if your megalomania lasts for more than 4 hours. Product not intended for child murder, but hey, you do you. Word around the writer's desk is that there was a nasty fight between 2 opposing views on what men do before war. Ultimately, a healthy meal and a good long rest lost out to brown ale, sweet harmonies, and bare titties, because, you know, HBO.
Poor nose.
Don't feel sorry for him. He'll be halfway up your ass before the night's through.
Nose jobs.
You think you're a hard man?
Because this show doesn't have enough antagonism among characters, let's go ahead and randomly introduce some tension between Sandor and Bronn. Not like there's a war to go fight or anything. Also, I'm sorry, Bronn and Hound are having a serious discussion about killing people, but all I can do is watch this naked woman on Bronn's lap. And there's never a close-up of Bronn without having her in the shot too. It's like having a bunch of fireworks go off in the middle of a big scene. Quieter and more fun, but accomplishes the same distraction.
I'm not entirely sure what you're suggesting.
I'm entirely sure you're entirely sure what I'm suggesting.
Have we taken a sin off for Peter Dinklage yet? He absolutely owns this show, man. What a killer performance. We owe him a sin off. And a sinister always pays his debts.
The map you asked for.
The plan is to get to the gates as soon as they open. We send half the party for Avatar, Flight of the Passage, Fast Passes, and the other half to Expedition Everest. Meet back at Rainforest Cafe. They don't have titties, but they do have anaconda pasta, and it's delicious.
I don't believe I've ever told you how I was cut.
Ah, yes, the story of the eunuch system. I know this. Also, if I had made a list of Game of Thrones explanations I could go my whole life without hearing, how Lord Varys' dick was chopped off would be at the very top of the list.
For a man in service to such powers to sit on the Iron Throne, I can think of nothing worse.
Well, stick around, Varys, because I'm guessing dark magic on the throne won't even make the first 100 things of awful things this show has in store.
I've never known bells to mean surrender. They want to play music with us, let's play.
I haven't heard this much talk of bells since that episode of the Father Dowling Mysteries, where a nun was found dead with bells stuck up her ass. And regardless of whether or not that episode actually exists, the amount of Google searches I just inspired brings me great joy.
Drums!
Is this Marilyn Manson's The Beautiful People?
Stay safe, my lady.
And you, my lion.
I love the tenderness in this relationship, and I'm excited to see it continue to blossom for seasons to come. Can't wait for that to happen.
Where's our fleet?
On the way.
Why isn't it here now? They're coming.
Because hearing characters talk about war is so much more fun for viewers than actually watching war.
Sir Lancel, tell the Hound to tell the King that the Hand is extremely busy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, Game of Thrones. You've got some 1980s sitcom in my early 21st century fantasy epic.
Is your red flower still blooming?
Medieval Playtex commercials. Also, my landscaper asked my wife this question recently, and now I'm wondering if that was incredibly inappropriate and why he needed to know.
There's only one ship. Where are the rest of them?
I get that Joffrey's an idiot, and he and Tyrion don't exactly get along, but the idea that he would be in on none of the discussions involving battle plans, or that Tyrion wouldn't clue him in, is ridiculous. It creates fun tension in the show, but they could have had Joffrey be the wiser and still made this just as tense and exciting.
There's no one on board.
Right, so how exactly did they manage to get this boat to this exact place at the exact right time? We already heard that the wind was blowing into shore, and if you're relying on the tide, let's just say accuracy isn't in your favor. I'm just saying this plan goes to hell 9 times out of 10 when that boat doesn't cooperate.
Wildfire!
Steer clear!
Oh sure, now that we know the big wildfire secret, the entire ocean looks like it's radioactive. But just a second ago, before the big reveal, there was not a speck of green behind it at all. Wildfire? More like wild liar, am I right? Arthas! Get down! The guy we are supposed to empathize with is the only guy who sees an obvious danger about to happen, even though obvious danger should have been obviously dangerous to everyone cliché. In the same way Tyrion is showing he is a force to be reckoned with despite his size, this is also the exact moment that Game of Thrones stood up and said, TV budgets, we be making motherfucking movies up in here, so deal.
Come with me and take this city!
But maybe put on a helmet first? Sheesh, you're worse than a Prometheus crew member. And then the director said, let's have him clumsily juggle 3 apples while avoiding the battle, so he'll look like even more of an asshole.
The gods have no mercy, that's why they're gods.
That's theist.
Tears aren't a woman's only weapon. The best one's between your legs.
Holy shit, I didn't know that people in these olden times had access to the movie Teeth.
If the city falls, these fine women should be in for a bit of a rape.
Pep talks. Look at those men in heavy armor flying across the water against the tide. I'm impressed. To my untrained eye, I thought they were slapping their oars on the surface like a baby in the bath. I would have thought if you wanted to come this fast, you would have to stroke a lot harder.
Phrasing?
Loose! Oh, come on. Knock loose. Clearly, this was a moment to say, fire! The arrows are literally on fire! There's so much cutting in this action scene, I was starting to think I'd accidentally switched over to Thor the Dark World for a second. Man, who gets put on f***ing stone throwing duty? I didn't realize anything could get lower in the ranks than Royal Fluffer, but Stone Thrower might indeed accomplish that.
When we were young,
Meanwhile, on Circe and the Restless.
and I was sold to some stranger like a horse to be ridden whenever he desired.
You were Robert's queen.
And you will be Joffrey's. Enjoy.
I mean, that's terrible. What a great line.
The king's presence is good for morale.
All the whining, sniveling morale you can handle and more. The editing on Game of Thrones is usually pretty masterful, but multiple cuts just to show a ladder getting put up? That's CW level there. As good as some of the action is in Blackwater, I don't think this episode has once established where everything is. These are a bunch of Stannis' boats going to some piers in King's Landing, but where exactly are they in relation to, well, everything else? And maybe the series itself has established the locations over time, but I'm not sure even the biggest nerd of Game of Thrones maps could tell you where all this is happening. These Fire Festival documentaries just keep getting weirder and weirder.
Stay with my uncle and represent the king on the field of battle.
Joffrey. This Varys doll is way too lifelike. I wonder if it's anatomically incorrect. Why does Tyrion take this guy out before calling for the rest to attack? When you have the element of surprise, why give it away early? I'm just saying this strategy doesn't have a leg to stand on. It won't give him a leg up. It could have cost him an arm and a... You know what? Let's just send this move on. Tyrion strikes that blow and then blood comes a second later from the top right of the screen. I'm pretty sure whoever is listed in the credits as off-screen blood tosser just lost their job.
Father.
Tywin Ex Machina.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
I have faith in my captain.
Captain, my captain.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map.
Get me. I'm giving out wings.
I will pray for your safe return, my lord, just as I prayed for the king's.
Ouch, town population, you, bro.
A slice of cake just waiting to be eaten.
But there's no sense crying over every mistake.
Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
Should we sing a hymn?
Home is behind, the world ahead.